going on, everybody in the building, man? It's your boy Tony D2 Wild checking in once again, back with the big of the day, guys, on the Glock 45 Gen 5 MOS in the building, man. And I can't lie, I fell in love with this gun. I already knew I was going to fall in love with this gun because of what it is, you know, and we're going to talk a lot today about what the Glock 45 is, about the Glock 45, and we're going to have to compare it to the Glock 19 because, in my opinion, the Glock 19 is like almost the golden standard, in my opinion, when it comes to Glock, and why I think I might like the 45 more than it now. Yes, I think I'm on that hill right now. So yeah, guys, we have the Glock 45 Gen 5 in, and we actually also have the Glock Performance Trigger, which I might need to drop my own video on that because the Glock Performance Trigger is a trigger that is needed on all Glocks out there. It's a very simple upgrade. It is not a hair trigger YouTube or any sort of modification that makes the gun like YouTube. Just trust me, it's a simple, it came like this. It actually came stock the way I got it. I did not have to modify it or do anything like that. But you can do it yourself. You can get it done over at Glock. You can make your own choosing as is, but it is a better trigger pull, less mush, a very solid wall, and I feel maybe even a lighter poundage on the trigger, but we'll talk a little bit more about that later on. The Glock 45, if you guys don't know, is a Glock 19 slide with a Glock 17 frame. It's a crossover, a compact crossover is what they call it. So essentially, as stated before, you have what you got here on the Glock 19. Now this one has a comp on it, and we'll talk more about this, but you have the same exact length on that slide, if you can see, but the frame is slightly bigger on the 45. It is of what the Glock 17 is. But in my opinion, it's not a big jump as far as like being oversized. Now, a Glock 17, after kind of having this right here as well, Glock 17 is not that bad either. But if you want to conceal carry, the Glock 19 has been a very solid gun for years and years, being a concealed carry weapon, but also able to be used, you know, out the waistband, inside the waistband, home defense, carrying, whatever. But I also think now the Glock 45 enters in, and I think it's almost the same exact way, in my opinion. Why? Well, we have a Glock 19 here, and the Glock 19, this one in particular, I've owned for about 7 years now. You know, the Glock, in my opinion, for some people has to be an acquired taste. It's a great gun, and it's a fabulous gun, and once you actually get into guns more and more, you realize, damn, all these other guns out there, they're nice, they got their fanciness to it, but Glock keeps it simple, but it keeps it reliable, and it does the job. And yes, I love a lot of different guns out there, but I always come back and be like, damn, this is just so simple, but it's so effective. But with that being said, we have a Glock 19, this one in particular, with a radiant comp and then an extension base plate here, or mag extension, which gives you standard Glock 19 is 15. This is plus, I believe, 4 or 5 or whatever. So it gives you 20 plus 1. Once all this is in here, you put all this in here, which is dope, and you could still, carry it and put it in the waistband. But, once you start doing all that, you then start to realize, well, hey, I'm bigger than this 45 now. I mean, my length is bigger. Pause, or that's what she said. No diddy. And even the length on the frame with the extended base plate is bigger. So you're running a bigger gun now. The Glock 19 that we have here is bigger than this 45. What is the difference now of this though? The frame itself, again, gives you a better grip overall. With me, I have extra room with that grip, whereas on the Glock 19, I have that room, but I have a little bit of fat of the meat of pinky hanging off. That a little bit of extra grip, and if you guys don't know, at least from what I learned doing karate as a kid, the strongest finger of the fist is the pinky. The pinky is where a lot of the power is, which keeps your hand clenched. People think it might be the thumb, which the thumb wraps around, is nice, but the pinky is where the power is at. You can feel it when you grip. The pinky itself is where a lot of that grip and strength is within a clenched fist, or just a fist in general. So having that all covered up, this gives me a very solid overall grip on the gun. With that being said, we have here 20 rounds Of course, the Glock 45 comes standard with 17. So we do lose 3 rounds, but 3 rounds, in my opinion, keep the frame, keep this compact as is, or get it bulky and get an additional 3 rounds. I kind of like to run with this. The compensator, definitely dope, definitely fun. I like it, but for the most part, it's not necessary. But this right here, stock as is, you know, forgetting the trigger, but you get 17 rounds, you get a great grip overall, and you get that compact slide out of the Glock 19. And as stated before, this is smaller than this now with the overall accessories attached. And also, Glock 19, Glock 45, this is a Glock 19 holster. It holds the Glock 45 because, I ain't gonna lie, I don't know if the 17s and 19s are compatible. Forgive me, I'll just be honest, that part I just don't know, but this one, it works. And this is a T-Rex holster, by the way, but yeah, it works. Also, what I noticed with the Gen 5 at least, I feel like they went a little bit deeper with the Picatinny spots on the bottom, because with a lot of, you know, with this Glock right here, specifically this Gen, this is a Gen 4, it would come off like easily, like it needs to be drembled more. That light would easily come off, so I would have to utilize like the screw set one, where this one you could put it in, pop it on, and it's not going nowhere. It's not. So I like that also, that they've changed and upgraded from the Gen 4 to the Gen 5. I'm not gonna lie though, I do like the matte finish or the matte look of the slide on the Gen 4 just personally, but I'm not mad whatsoever. I believe it's like a melanite finish or something like that. We actually have some of the specs here which we can read off. So the caliber, of course, 9mm of the Glock 45. The magazine, another thing. The magazine takes the 17-round magazine. The Glock 19 takes the 15-round magazine. The 15-round magazine will not fit in the Glock 45, but the Glock 45 magazine will fit in the Glock 19. Also, these slides and frames are compatible with each other. So I can take this slide off of the Glock 19 and put it on the 45, and I can put this 45 slide on my Glock 19. They are easily swappable. And I guess really in a way, when you have the Glock 45 and this one, when I kind of think about it, even though there's some slight differences, but hear me out, right? With these 2 guns in hand, with the added on length of this slide and barrel, if I put this slide on this gun, it would be almost the perfect dimensions of the Glock 17. And if I put this slide on this frame, it would be this basic Glock 19. And then even on top of that, the gun right here as it is, thinking of a flush mount 15-round magazine, just think of that, right? The length of this would be a 17 slide length with a 19 grip. I think that is what, a Glock 23? Correction, I don't know if I am 100% correct, but I think the Glock 47 kind of falls in line with it. There is a Glock out there that utilizes that 17 slide on a 19-ish shortened frame. It might be the 47. Feel free to correct me down below. I know I for sure probably got it wrong, but there is one that is very similar in that size and dimension from what I know. But my point is, you essentially got kind of like 4 different kind of guns right here. So back to the 45, we have a 4.02 inch barrel. The weight without the magazine is 21.73 ounces. With a loaded mag, you have 30.34 ounces. The trigger pull on the stock trigger is 26 newtons. I believe that's the wordage. Salutes to the individual that helped me out with that on the last video. The magazines you can run, of course, optional is 19 round, 17 round, 24 round, 33 round, 31 round. You have a lot of compatibility. The only one really is you can't run the 15, so keep that one in mind. Length overall, 7.44 inch. Slide length is 6.85 inch. Width is 1.34 inch. Slide width is 1 inch. Height is 5.47 inches. Line of sight, 6.02. Line of sight with steel, 5.98. And line of sight GANS is 5.94. Trigger distance, 2.76 inches. So yeah, it's a lot of metrics and yeah, a lot of dimensions and metrics and lengths and all that, right? Yeah. Hey, me personally, this gun, fabulous. Like I stated before though, we are running the Glock Performance Trigger. The Glock Performance Trigger is out of this world when it comes to at least comparing it with Glocks. There's a lot of other people that make Glock triggers that I'm pretty sure make wonderful triggers, but I've always heard that leave your Glocks stock. And at least I know with the Glock Performance Trigger, it's still somewhat stock because it is OEM, you know, a part of what Glock makes, and there is a very difference in the triggers, and I'm going to show you that right now. So we have a Glock 19, and just check out the trigger itself. Standard, you got the blade, and you got all that mush, and then you pull. You see, you still got that little, you got that additional. So you hit the wall, but you still get a little bit of mush after that wall. Reset. One more time. Reset. I'm trying to get it to where I can show you that. There you go. There's the mush. And there you go. Now, check out the performance trigger. It's thicker. You feel me? And that's what she said. So just to show you some of the differences, which you're also working with. This is, of course, this is a Gen 4 and a Gen 5, so there's might be some differences in general, but you can obviously see that there's a thicker trigger on this, and here we go. So you have a thicker overall trigger wall, and I'm gonna hold it because there is no there's no mush, y'all. There is no mush. Reset. That's wall, and I cannot make it. I'm trying to slightly go. Here we go. Yeah, it's really hard to hit the mush on the wall. And with that being said, you know, you essentially, there's a little bit of curvage on a Glock trigger, but when you pull it and hit that wall, you're almost hitting a very solid, just 90-degree angle, flat-faced, just almost, I hate to say it, but 1911-ish type of wall where, you know, it's just very, very nice and soft, man. The trigger pull is amazing. So I just had to talk about it because I seen TFB talk about Glock performance triggers, and once I tried it, literally TFB, James Reeves, I saw his video and him talk about it, and I said I want to try a performance trigger, and what he said, I 100% agree with everything. It's something that you just got to try out. But I mean, honestly, you know, maybe you're here to know how she shoots, right? She shoots phenomenally, like any other Glock out there. I mean, honestly, I felt like I was shooting a Glock 19, but I just had a better grip. Like, that's how I felt. I have a better grip. I have my full pinky, full frame. I'm not hanging off the edge. I'm hanging off the edge here. I feel real naked right here on my palm, on my pinky. As I stated before, the grip means everything, and I feel that. I can feel it. You know, do I have a great grip on it? Yes, but I can feel that I'm having a little bit of air. It's cold right there, you feel me? But when I'm on that Glock 45 with that Gen 17 slide, I'm not hanging off. I'm on board, baby. I'm all there, all skin touched. You feel me? And that's what I like to feel. I like to feel this. I'm loving this feeling. So she shot amazing, but that's why I like it. I feel like with a Glock 17, even though I like this full frame, all that metal hanging off on the end, like you know, I know it's a little, not probably that much, but I like this, the fact that it's still that Glock 17 slide, so it's compact, but I have that full grip. That's what I want, and that's what I like. The Gen 5, of course, is ambidextrous, so you have that slide release on both ends. There is not, of course, mag release ambidextrous, but you have slide release on both sides, and man, solid. What happens, what do I say from the Glock 19? I still, you know, I still would use the Glock 19. I'll still carry it, but I prefer to carry the 45 now moving forward. It's just a very, very, very lovely gun, and no complaints with it whatsoever. Shooting it, we didn't have any failures, just straight out the box. You know, when it comes to Glock, reliability is probably the #1 thing. You know, I don't know the last time I've had a failure with a stock Glock. Of course, you know, all Glocks come with that hard case, which some companies don't even give you a case at all. And yeah, you got your 2 additional back straps. You got your MOS plate on the top, which is plastic. I think originally it was metal, like on the Gen 4 it was metal. And then you have the MOS kit right there with all your different plates. And I heard that they may be getting rid of this system with the Gen 6. I just heard that. Somebody was saying that online, that that was the case, and maybe going for, I guess, more just options straight on the actual slide, which, you know, I guess you can get a lower profile, which, I mean, hey, I'm all for it. You got your same typical cleaning device. Everything's the same, no corners cut on the Gen 5 whatsoever. Solid gun and a solid pickup. I ain't out here telling you to go buy a Glock 45, but I'm definitely telling you to go to your range and just rent one and try it out, because it's a great gun, it's a fun gun, and yes, I love the Glock 19. It's been phenomenal, but right now I prefer the 45 over the Glock 19. That big frame issue that we're talking about, I just don't have an issue with it, I'm gonna be honest. But yes, guys, let me know you guys' thoughts and opinions down below in the comment section. I love y'all, I appreciate y'all as always, and I'm gonna see y'all in the next one. I'm out. Peace.